Hello everybody and welcome back to another Ian the Space Nerd video. And today we're going to be talking about the Pilot spacecraft and the story about it. Project Pilot was the first attempt to create an air-launched satellite launch vehicle. So current ones like Virgin Orbit, and there's also like Northrop Grumman has the Pegasus. This one is actually the first attempt to create an air-launched satellite launch vehicle. Yeah. So the vehicle is better known as the name Notsnik. It's a combination of the names Nots and Sputnik, the first human-made satellite in space. The Nots EV-1 was also the first of all-solid orbital vehicles. It was launched by a Douglas F-4D-1 Skyray airplane. After a separation from the aircraft, the first pair of hot rock motors driven by the Subrock anti-submarine missile were ignited. 5 seconds later, the second pair was ignited. The jettison of the first stage, the X-241 and the Nots extruded motors put the payload into a transfer orbit, which was half a orbit later by the fourth stage, which was mounted backwards in front of the payload. As the vehicle was designed for maximum simplicity, it featured no moving parts. Okay, now it's time to get into the interesting part, because the thing is about this launch vehicle, it didn't really work that well. So let's just start out with Flight 1. The Flight 1 was actually a ground launch for test purposes, launched from the Naval Ordnance Test Station in China Lake, California. Flight 1 exploded after 1 second of the engine of it lifting off. Flight 2 was also a ground launch. The vehicle exploded before liftoff. Okay, Flight 3 is the first launch of Pilot on an aircraft, released from an aircraft. Flight 3, this is kind of like we don't know really, because it lost radio contact, and it may have reached orbit. We don't know, but I personally think it did, because it was all nominal through, it was nominal until it lost radio contact, but I just like to say it is. But it can't be confirmed because it was lost radio contact, so it's confirmed as a failure. Okay, Flight 4 was also released from an aircraft, and the vehicle exploded during ignition of the engines. Flight 5 was a ground launch. Flight 5 had a structural failure after 2.1 seconds after launch. And Flight 6 was also a ground launch, having a structural failure after 3 seconds of launch. Flight 7 is the same thing as Flight 3 that happened. Flight 7 lost radio contact, may or may not have reached orbit. Cannot be confirmed. All of these air launches were the plane took off from Okinawa Airfield and the same Naval Ordnance Center station in China Lake, California, but it just was in the air over the ocean. Flight 8, a vehicle exploded after 0.75 seconds after launch. Flight 9, Stage 1 failed to ignite. The vehicle crashed into the Pacific Ocean. Okay, and now the Flight 10. Come on, guys. Is this gonna be the first success of Pilot? No. Only one motor in the Stage 1 failed to ignite, causing a structural failure. And after all those failures, the program was discontinued and improved vehicle called Caleb was developed. which is what I was talking about of the Knots EV1. And yeah, that is the story on the pilot launch vehicle. Yeah, pretty much the biggest failure in spaceflight ever, I would think. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys find this out. Hope you guys find this out interesting. And yeah, see you guys next time.